Welcome back to another day in the arena, everybody. It's Untap Your Go, and today we're playing Sultai Midrange in Historic. So this is a mid-range shell built around Sultai and all of the strongest cards that we have access to in these colors, including Uro, Hydrocrasis, Nissa, Growth Spiral. Like, these are all just like very popular cards. We all know, very familiar what they do if you played last season's Standard. But in Historic, this shell turns into a monster powerhouse because of all the other things we have access to. So let's break this deck down. We have 4 copies of Thoughtseize to be able to pick apart our opponent's hand, protect our permanents, get rid of their counterspells, whatever. 4 copies of Bloodchief's Thirst. This is really good against early aggression, as well as dealing with planeswalkers and like big dumb creatures in the mid to late game. 2 copies of Aether Gust in the main board because there's a lot of green and red and stuff floating around the format right now. Between Tybalt's Trickery being red, mirror matches like Sultai, there's a lot of green, there's a lot of Gruul, there's a lot of elves, there's a lot of goblins. Hits a ton of things. Having this in the main board just gives you a nice clean answer against a very large percentage of the format. Then we have 4 copies of Growth Spiral. This is going to draw some cards and put some lands onto the battlefield. It's just a nice 2-mana spell to be able to ramp us to our 4-mana slot, to be able to get to our Extinction event a turn early, or get to our Nissa a turn early. 4 copies of Hydrocrasis. This is green, blue, and X. You can put as much mana as you want into it, and you draw half X cards and gain half X life when you cast it. So even if they counter it, you still get the value out of it, and it has Flying and Trample, and comes in with X counters. So either they counter it and you get the draw and the value, or they don't, and then you get the draw and the value, and a big dumb creature afterwards. So this card is, primo. 3 copies of Disallow to be able to deal with our opponent's spells, activated abilities, or triggered abilities. There's a lot of that right now. We can counter Ulamog's cast trigger, we can counter Planeswalker activations, we can handle a lot of things with this Disallow. 3 copies of Maelstrom Pulse to be able to deal with our opponent's non-land permanents, and if they share the same name, we wipe everything of the same name. So this is really good against like Goblin tokens, Elves, if they have multiples. You know, anytime that a creature deck tries to go wide, we can handle it pretty easily, or we can just blow up a Planeswalker if we need to. And then getting to Uro, all 4 copies, because obviously it's a 3-mana 6/6, it gains you 3 life, draws you a card, and puts a land from your hand on the battlefield, and you can buy it back from the graveyard. This card just, it does everything we need it to do. And then we have 3 copies of Extinction Event. This is going to be mostly a one-sided board wipe because we only play 2 creatures in the entire deck, Hydrocrasis and Uro. And if you include the lands from Nissa, then we have 3 creatures. But we only have to worry about exiling even if that's a scenario. Extinction Event is most likely going to be a one-sided board wipe and just help buy us a ton of time to establish our board state. In the mana base, we just have a mix of our basics, just one of each, a mix of our duels between the Buddy lands and the Shocks, and then we have a couple Triomes, and we have a Crawling Barrens to be able to dump some mana into and try to win the game that way. In the sideboard, we have 3 copies of Pact and Negation against control or combo decks if we just need to like stay alive for a turn or push through our Nissa or whatever the case. 2 copies of Narset to be able to slow down our opponent's draw or shut it down entirely almost. If our opponent's playing their own Hydrocrasis, they get nothing out of it, and it's nice against control because there's a lot of draw power in the deck or in the format. So being able to shut that down while also being able to find more resources, this card just does a lot for us. 3 copies of Witch's Vengeance. Again, goblins and elves, like I can't stress enough, are very, very popular in the format. Not to mention we have knights, humans, spirits, merfolk, you know, construct. Occasionally you might go up against like a construct, artifact, creature deck. Regardless, there's so many tribal synergies and strategies in the format right now. This is like a premium board wipe, especially one-sided. And then we have 2 copies of Leyline of the Void to be able to exile our opponent's graveyard, get rid of their Uros and their Croxos and all that good stuff. 3 copies of Shark Typhoon against control and other mid-range matchups because cycling and getting the Shark is impossible to interact with basically outside of a Disallow countering the triggered ability from cycling this. Other than that, the draw is, you can't interact with it. And if you can stick this for 6 mana, all of our non-creature spells are going to create even more Sharks. So this is going to be a very, very nice way to try to close out the game against control matchups. And then we have 2 copies of Casualties of War because it's a 5-for-1. It hits a whole lot of things that we want it to. And even if you can only get 2 or 3 modes out of it, we're okay with spending the 6 mana for that. Because 1, getting the 6 mana in this deck is not hard at all. And 2, if we can just get rid of a problematic creature and just, you know, short them 1 land, we did okay. If we can get a creature and an artifact in a land, we're doing better. And then if we can get all 5, you best believe we're living the dream. And that is Sultai Midrange in Historic. We're going to take this in the arena and see how we do today. please leave a like on today's video and subscribe, all that good stuff. You can check the link down below to the Ether Hub if you would like to import this and try this out yourselves. And with that, let's take this into the arena. All right, going into game one against Dai Commodity, and our opening hand is kind of stacked, honestly. We got a bunch of stuff that we could really use against any matchup, really. So we're going to lead off with the Triome. We get to have all of our colors right off the bat. That feels pretty good. Pelt Collector, huh? Sick. Okay, well, that means I can play my Breeding Pool tapped, and I'm just going to go ahead and Bloodchief's Thirst the Pelt Collector. So we're up against GooOooOoooOoooOood, I think, in the first matchup. Unless it's Mono Green Stompy. Either way, our Ether Gust is live. Ooh, Golgari, okay. Another Pelt Boy. Land off the top feels pretty good. So I could Bloodchief's Thirst and Thoughtseize our opponent. Well, I can't do both actually. I could Bloodchief's Thirst the Pelt Collector or Thoughtseize. But I think I'm going to hold up a Disallow or an Ether Gust. Sure. Okay, so it's Abzan. Do we want them to have the counters here? I mean, this isn't too big of a deal. It's even. Could Extinction Event next turn if I find a land. Put that back on top. Let's give you a bad draw. Okay, and our opponent decides to keep it on top. Neat. So we're going to Growth Spiral first, try to find a land. Oof. Okay, I'm okay with continuously taking one here for right now, but I want to take a peek at the rest of their hand. Beast Whisperer is pretty strong, so is Whining Constrictor. So this comes in, Pelt Collector becomes a 3/3, and that's odd. That's even. Definitely take the Beast Whisperer, though. We do not want them to be drawing a bunch of cards. Abzan Energy. Seems pretty cool. Sure. Pretty good. Land off the top would have been sweet. Would have been sweet. Okay. If we can resolve this Extinction Event, we're in good shape. But very scary. We're gonna go ahead, kill the Pelt Collector. Hydrocrisis does nothing. We'll pass. Yep. Earth. Pretty good. What a draw. Why? Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Why did you do that? That was such a waste of your energy, man. Green belt. Okay. Pretty good. Okay, another land. Well, I think we play our Hydroid for 3. Uro's not bad. If they don't play a creature, we're okay. We can trade with the Pelt Collector at the least. Sure. It's pretty good. Another land for us. Uro is going to gain us back some life, but we're pretty dead. Yep. And they have 5, so it's lethal. Good game. Going into game 2 against mtga Cat. I mean, our opening hand is better than last game. Could try this. Well, I think we're going to take 4 here. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Well, Innocent Blood is good. It's not great. It's just all about sacrificing creatures. This is all kind of dead, really. Asika is definitely the pick. Shut off their mana protection. Sure. Oh, alright. I think for now we just draw pass, draw pass. Three mana and an unknown card. Probably not a counterspell, right? Alright, pass it up. Nope. What is our opponent's deck? Alright. We just keep passing. Sure. Crocs is pretty good. I think we drop a land here. And I think we Hydroid for 3. We only get 1 card out of it, but it's fine. Sure. Soul Shatter's actually pretty good. It's gonna hit our Nissa. It's a little awkward. Pass it up. God bless you, puppers. Hello, pup. You always say hello to the pup. Another Mayhem Devil. I mean, this is fine. We're running out of resources, though. Could really use an Uro. Sure. Discard the land. Should fire off the Extinction event so I can... This is even, right? So I can deal with the actual Nicobolas later with the Maelstrom Pulse. Oh, man. I'm going to hold this up. That is awkward, guys. We're drawing a ton of lands this game. Hey, there he is. Does our opponent have a counterspell? Thank God. And another Maelstrom Pulse isn't too bad. Do I put this land into play? I kind of want to hold it. 3, 6, 7, 8. We don't really need 8 mana. I'm just going to decline it. And I could escape it, but escaping it's useless. Our opponent has immediate response for it, so keep him in the bin for now until we can establish a better board state. Well, our opponent's tapped out now. So they can deal with the Uro on their turn, but by doing so, they're taking their turn off. So they can't establish a board state. Hopefully we can draw into like a Nissa. Or another land is fine. We'll just keep drawing lands. Sure. There it is. Alright, so Soul Shatter's out of their hand now. They might have drawn into another one, but I mean, if they did, that sucks. Oh, let's untap one of the Woodland Cemeteries. And now I guess it's their call. They can, if they have a Soul Shatter, they can use it on Nissa, but they can't kill the land. They kind of have to choose their targets. Very, very weird though, playing a lot of sacrifice cards. I think our opponent would have been better off just playing like targeted removal, honestly. Grab Cascading Cataracts, maybe? Oh yeah, World Tree. Yeah. Yeah, World Tree is pretty good. Okay. Well, I guess we've killed a Golos. We'll hold up the Watery Grave, actually. And I think we'll just turn another one of these into a creature and get in. 3/6. Yeah. Putting a lot of pressure on our opponent. Yep. Sure. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and get in for 3 and get back our Uro again. And now our opponent's Grippism is completely unknown. Ooh. 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 Disallow is a great draw. Why couldn't I attack? Did I already attack? Yeah, I did. They went from 11 to 8. So we have lethal. Hopefully they try to cast something that uses all their mana. Like that. Good game. Whew. Perfect disallow. Perfect. Alright, going into our third and final game for this video, up against Andrew Holmes. And our opening hand is pretty good, so we're going to keep it. Let's lead off with a Overgrown Tap to save our life total a little bit. And our opponent has Plains Sleeves, so I wonder if they're playing Life Gain or some form of it. Nope, Cascading Cataracts, completely different. Alright. Play the Hinterland Harbor and pass. We can hold up the Aether Gust if we can use it, or we'll fire off the Growth Spiral and put the Watery Grave into play. Okay. Mind Stone. Oh boy, oh boy. So we're going up against some form of a colorless build. Probably plays Golos. Cascading Cataracts is probably in there for the Golos activation. Well, let's start off with Uro, actually. Yep. That's super good. Okay, they're ramping pretty hard. 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 mana already. Well, I think we'll Mouse Repulse the Archive, actually. Can't use 2 mana for anything. Alright, there's another one. And a Crucible of Worlds. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, I think we pass. I could play Hydroid. I could have played Hydroid for 3, but drawing 1 card is not really that great. Sorcerer's Broom. I'm loving every second of this. Dude, this is amazing. What? Well, yeah, let's just Thoughtseize our opponent. Take their last best card. Sure. And let's just name even. Sorcerer, yo, Sorcerer's Broom. I love this in limited, but like I can't. There's what? And you topped another one. How are you supposed to like? How are you supposed to realistically make this good? I guess if our, yeah, I mean actually, I guess land destruction is not bad. We're running out of basics. Well, let's play Uro first. Whatever. There's a mouse from Pulse. That's really good. We can hit their Crucible of Worlds. Do I even Blood Chief the Broom? Actually, no, because I want them to waste their mana. They can't attack into a 6/6, so they'll sacrifice a land and try to make a couple brooms. Yep. Cryptic Caves. It's pretty good. This is a very, very, very neat deck. Wow. Crucible with land destruction cards. Perfect. So we're still just going to blow that up, though. Get that off the board altogether. And we'll keep that tapped and pass. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's pretty good. I mean, the obelisk is good. Can't activate it just yet. And that's a lot of brooms. I would just attack with everything. Or nothing. That's better for me. Alright, so first things first. Get rid of your brooms. Quite gimmicky, but I like it. So we have 3 mana open. We don't actually need to play that untapped, so we'll just do that. Chunk them. And we're in good shape again. Obelisk can handle Uro, which I'm okay with. It's fine. If they destroy Uro, we'll be able to get it back soon anyway. Our opponent's deck, though, this is this is awesome. I love this. Anointed Procession. Sorcerer's Broom. Anointed Procession, Sorcerer Broom, land destruction. I can tell you one thing. I have never, ever seen anything like this. And I probably say this in like every video now because I just get very easily enthralled by people's decks. But, I mean, Andrew, shout out to you, man. If you ever catch this video, this is a pretty sick build. Not gonna lie. I'd rather just hold up the disallow, and we could win. I mean, We're going to take our time, I think. If I run out Nissa, make the 3-3, we would have lethal next turn, assuming they don't pop the obelisk. That's fine. I'm just going to save it. I don't mind putting it on top of my library. Definitely getting rid of that. I think we just play Nissa. Yep. Play Nissa and we can escape this again. Like this deck, guys, you know, we know these colors already. It just feels like it never ends. It never ends. Like once you get this situation started, it just never ends. All right, another Crucible of Worlds for our opponent. Draw a card. Oh, get our last basic. Alright, well, we're going to try to just close out the game. Not make our opponent wait. Settle the wreckage could be cool. Oh, okay, good game. Wow, we ended with almost 40 life, too. Uro gained us that much life over the course of the game. Unbelievable Magic card, guys. Welcome back to the wrap-up, everybody. If you made it this far, that means you watched my full video, and I thank you guys greatly and appreciate the support. So today we went 2-1 in a pretty short video. I wanted to keep it short this way just because Sultai Midrange, I expected to have pretty long matchups and gameplay video. So, still, we did pretty good. The deck does exactly what it did in Standard, and if not better. I mean, having access to some better cards like Extinction Event, the Maelstrom Pulse, like, everything from, like, Maelstrom Pulse over is pretty much new. Like, we had the Ether Gust in Standard. We didn't have any of this stuff in Standard, so having access to all this just helps really make this deck. It's so good, guys. It's so good. And I imagine in best of 3, it's even better because there's a lot of interchangeable pieces. You can keep a lot of this stuff the same. You know, you can like trim up on some growth spirals, but you can keep most of this stuff relatively the same. And then the rest of this stuff is very interchangeable and flexible to whatever you need it to be against a certain matchup. And a lot of the cards on the sideboard are going to give you a lot of edge against whatever those matchups are. So I imagine in best of 3, it's got, you know, a better chance at being more competitive. So definitely give this one a shot. I'll leave a link down below to the Ether Hub for you guys to try it out yourselves. And do not forget, we have that giveaway for the FNM promo growth spirals. That is ending very soon, guys, in a very few days. So for those of you who have not seen that, I'll leave an annotation here, and I'll also leave a link down below in the description for you guys to check out that video on how you guys can win those. And that's it for today, everybody. Leave a like, subscribe, and the bell, all that good stuff. And I'm Rob, aka On Tap or Go. It's been real, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video.